Hello YouTube. Look who I got back here. It's Christopher. Yeah. So today we're going to try to get this thing where it'll start and run. Then we're going to mount a turbo kit. I don't know if y'all watched in the last video here, but it'll start right up. It just won't idle. See, sometimes it runs a little longer than that, sometimes it don't, but I'm doing some research. And I think the post-start table needs either fuel added or taken out. So we're going to try that a little bit and see if we can't get this thing to start and run. And then Chris is going to figure out where he wants to mount the turbo, and we're going to mount it to a way that it's attached to the frame. And then we'll use some of these right here, flex pipe, flex it on over, and run the pipe off of what we already got down here, and mount the turbo. We're going to face it that way though. I don't know if he wants to put it in this hole or put it over here and get a shorter radiator. What am I?
It's probably going to get a shorter radiator. Try to get it behind that headlight.
Yes, yes. All right. I don't really know what I'm doing, guys, but I just started increasing those cells in the VE base fuel tuning table.
Oh man, I think it needs a little more opened out here.
And it needed a ton of fuel, but it seemed to idle better when Chris held the throttle open. But then that's gonna make the TPS read, I don't know. We'll see. Alright, so we're scouring the junkyards. We couldn't get the tune to work right, so Barely Able Racing is going to help us with that. We're going to go ahead and put the turbo on. We got it to start and run a little, but I had to throw a ton of fuel at it. I don't know. Or whatever. But look what we got. Christopher's steam port was leaking the one he bought. He bought one of those motorsports ones. Except for it was an eBay brand. And we also got a throttle cable off a mid-90s S10 with that had a V6 in it, didn't it?
Yeah.
And this should work perfect. This work.
It's like a 350 with 2 cylinders coming out.
It should work perfect. All right, I made it a little short. We got the throttle cable to work perfectly from the V6 4.3 S10. Some modifications that had to be made. If you want to see those, I just posted a short on that. But Chris is getting serious over here. He wants that turbo to come out right in this headlight hole.
Well, that's going to be cut out too.
So we're going to cut this hole out too. And that's where the turbo is going to come in at. And we cut the core support, but we're going to try our best to tie this back in a little bit. We're definitely going to put a bar down here, and we're going to run a not as wide radiator. The other radiator was like 32 inches wide. Yeah. We're going to find a radiator that'll fit in there.
I think 27 inches is what we need.
But yeah, that's where the turbo is going to go. Hopefully we get her there. We're going to put it there, then we're going to clock these the way we want to put them, because the intercooler is going to go over here too. We got a big intercooler for it. There's the intercooler. It says it's good for 800 rear wheel horsepower, and you know they're kind of conservative on those. So, but yeah, that's what we're going to use. And the turbo's going to go right there.
Yeah, so we can put it's right in front of the steering box, and just get both pipes to go. I think that's doable.
Yeah. Well, we can make the pipes do anything we want, and then we'll have to do some pie cuts, and I think that'll still come out this hole.
Yeah, so basically we'll just need to get a piece of sheet metal and come over and bump up, and then get like nuts and bolts to bolt it on each side, and then a piece of metal from the core support down to the bottom of the core support to hold this up and down, and it'll be the side of the radiator so it don't slide back and forth.
Sounds like a plan.
So it'll have brace up here, and then they'll have a piece back here, and then all this will get cleaned up, you know, once we get it.
That sounds like a plan. And then the this can go straight down and just a 90, and then the intercooler is going to be right there. What was you going to say, Chris?
I was gonna say, hopefully we can still use that hole over there.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if it'll
that'll
make that
definitely
turn
make that turn.
You think so?
Yeah, that's a 5-inch pipe, but yeah, it'll.
That's a pretty tight turn. It's gonna have to come out and then come back.
Yeah, it'll make it. It'll definitely make that
Somebody
turn.
might have to do some custom stuff there.
Definitely make that turn. Well, there's what we got, guys. Look at there. It's right in that hole. And we can move it around a little bit. Check that out. Yeah, all the air. Nice cool air. Yes, sir. I like it.
And look where the inlet's gonna come out. It should come out right to the intercooler.
Yeah, and once we spin that around, it goes straight down. It'll go straight down to the intercooler. We're going to put right in front of the radiator. Radiator and intercooler are going to go over here. Yes, sir. Yes. All right. We welded it in a piece of metal. Cut all that out. Welded her in down there. Chris doing the fancy welding. Not too bad for someone who never welds. Nah, looks good to me.
Yeah. I'm not doing the turbo kit this time. I'm gonna tack it up unless somebody that's really good at welding it, so the turbo kit will look good.
Yeah. And we found a 24-inch wide radiator, and that hole's what, 25 something?
Yeah. And it's a double bypass.
It's a double bypass radiator.
And both the inlet and the outlet are gonna come out right there on that side.
Yeah, in and out.
So that'll work and make this hose really short.
Yep. Make it go straight over there. And the bottom one's angled up, so hopefully, yeah, that'll work. But now, I guess we're going to try to make some kind of bracket, because we're going to hang the turbo off this bracket right here. And then, yeah, it's going to hang there, and then the exhaust is going to have those flex pops in it on both sides. So it's got solid motor mounts, but the motor's still going to move a little. So, all right, guys, here we go. Turbos hang. We got a bracket. It ain't as centered as we wanted it in the headlight hole, but that'll work just fine. I like it. We the way we made the bracket, we had to have some space over here where you couldn't get the turbo off. But anyway, we got us a bracket made. That's going to hold the turbo. It goes down through there with some angle iron welded on. That's going to hold the turbo, and then it's going to have some flex pipes coming off these. Now we got to figure out how to route from there out that hole to both of these. That's what we're going to do today. And Chris,
we got this little piece of metal here we got to trim. It's basically going to be like a filler
to fill that back in.
Yeah. And then we'll have to cut it out and maybe bump it up a little. It's all right.
Then once we clock the turbo straight down, the intercooler is going to go right there. So hopefully today we'll get this hot side ran, and we'll get the intercooler hung, and then Christopher already looked up a radiator that'll fit in there from Speedway Motors. It's a 19 and a half tall, which that's how tall that is, and it's 26 wide. And what do we come up with? 27?
That's like 26 and a half.
Yeah, 26 and a half, and we got a 26-inch wide radiator. And the cool thing about it is the radiator, the in and out, it's a double pass, so it has to go through the radiator twice. So it almost acts like a double radiator, but the in and the out will be over here, and the cap's over there. But that'll work, because we'll come straight across here. I think we said this already, though. We'll just come straight across right there.
And then the intercooler pipe can come through here.
And we're going to come through this hole with the intercooler pipe.
And then come in between the two.
Yep. And then the radiator don't have a transmission line fitting, so we'll have to get us a transmission cooler. And
you probably needed that anyways.
Yes, you did. And yeah, those fans are pretty big. Hopefully we can want to be good for a double pass radiator. It's a double pass radiator, so it has to go through the radiator twice. I don't know how it does that, but it's a double pass radiator, so hopefully that'll work. But we're going to get to working on this hot side, see what we can do. All right, we're making some progress. We about got the passenger side done. Chris is just measuring it up, but he had this idea: use a piece of paper for a straight edge, and if you lap that around there and get it exactly lined up with itself, it'll be a straight line. So that'll help you. We're just using a grinder with a cutoff wheel, and it ain't easy getting these straight, but that does help. All right, here we go, guys. This is what we got. Flex pop, V-band, and then up to the turbo. This is getting it all welded in, so that's going to be that one.
Don't worry, he's on the final welds.
Now, Chris is going to...
Just tacking it up.
We might practice on a few pieces and see how we do. If we do, then we might weld it up ourselves. If not, we'll have Noah TIG weld it for us, because look at that. Noah be TIG welding. Yes. If y'all ain't seen my short, going to Noah's and getting the oil pan bungs welded in. If y'all ever need, he does all this stuff. He does painting, restoration, engine swaps, welding, you name it. Noah at Performance Works in Richmond, Kentucky. Check him out. All right, guys, there's the finished tacked up product. And yeah, now we got to take it all off and weld it, or have someone weld it for us. There's a little gap right there, but that's the best we can do. I think that can be welded past. And it is hitting the nut right there a little. No, it ain't. It ain't hitting the nut. It's hitting the V-band. The V-band's hitting it.
Well, the big adjustment done on the top.
Oh, yeah. We'll probably have to dent that in just a little bit. But other than that, man, I think it looks good. What do y'all think? Yes, sir. What do you think, Chris?
It looks great.
Yeah, we'll probably put
that in, and we might dent this one in where the radiator's at. Just like heat it up real good, hit it with a ball peen hammer.
And we'll probably put a wastegate there and a wastegate over there. Alright, that's all the popping. We made X's where we wanted to put the wastegates at, and then we put an arrow at the angle we wanted them. We'll probably unbolt the wastegates and take them with us. And Christopher's doing some painting all that up, making it look good.
Restoring the car.
Yes, sir. Working good. Father and son time. Yes, yes. Alright, we got the intercooler in place. That's where we're going to put it. It's going to go right through that hole right there. And up through here, like we said before, blah, blah, blah. And then this side over here, the down for the turbo is going to be right here. So it's basically going to be a straight 90 right there. Boom, done. And then we'll do a 90 across there. And then probably another 90 and come up. And probably a 45 or a 90 right there. Done. We're going to use some angle iron and just weld it right inside the frame there, and then just come straight across the bottom, and we'll figure something out for the top. I honestly don't think it needs anything for the top, but we'll see. Alright, we checked the front end and everything, and that's going to be the new home for the intercooler. We're going to get some spacers here, just some washers, go straight through there. Same thing over here. That'll hold the top, which I don't think the top's going to go anywhere anyway. And then we'll drill some holes through that angle iron, which is going to be really fun because my drill bit's sick. And that's going to be it. We already tested the front end and it fits. Alright guys, so here's what we got. It's welded directly to the frame, all painted. We don't got no gas, so it splatters everywhere. Chris welded all up. You can stand on that, jump up and down, around. So we're drilling holes to bolt it to the bottom, and then we got spacers. We got this aluminum rod with the 8mm bolts. That's what size bolts it uses. Fits right through. So we'll put those spacers in there for that gap, because the bolt hole goes right up in that angle part. So we'll drill a hole about right here, and another hole right here, and it'll need a spacer over here because that goes down across, and that's going to brace that. And we'll put another brace over here for that's the turbo mount, and it only needs 2 bolts. 2 bolts holds that turbo really good. That's what it was before. That's the bracket we used before on the small block Chevy, actually. So there's the turbo and intercooler bracket. That's what we got. About to bolt her in, drill some holes and bolt her in. All right, there we go, guys. It's bolted in. And where this is bolted in, we use these spacers. And then we re-brace this. Man, this right here is sturdy as can be now. That did move around a lot. But yeah, it ain't moving now. Yep. So cutting that out with that across there and that all bolted together, doesn't even matter anymore. But we are going to drill some holes and bolt a piece that's going to, just a piece of sheet metal to come up over, just to protect you from leaning on the hot turbo. But yeah, we'll get Nola to weld some of this up for us tomorrow. We're going to do the cold side over there, put the turbo in, do the cold side over here, be done. All right, here we are at Performance Works again. Got Chris with me, and Noah's taking off his bit, his Saturday just to weld up some parts for us. Sure do appreciate him. Really awesome. Again, guys, if you ever Performance Works in Richmond, Kentucky, you ever need some stuff done, holler at him. All right, guys, Noah got her all welded up for us. Really good welds. That's where we had it tacked. We suck at welding.
We didn't tack nothing.
But yeah,
that looks good.
Did a real good job.
Really good.
Now he tigged this part, TIG and MIG over here. And again, that's where we tacked it.
Yeah.
These are his welds.
Where the welder didn't have gas.
He had a hard time going there.
Yeah.
Where we didn't have gas. We didn't have gas in our welder, so yeah, see.
It's about 150 times better than what was on the car before. Yeah. So I'm happy with this.
A lot better than we could have done. He's really good at it. Really good at it. We're impressed, and we thank you, Noah. He took time out of his Saturday to do that for us. He does really good on the welding. He didn't want to go over our tacks because we didn't use gas, and I guess it caused an issue when he tried to go over our tacks, and we suck at welding. But yeah, it looks good. Looking good. Yes, sir. All right, I'm over here running the cold side, and Chris is heat wrapping the hot side. All right, here's what we got so far. There's a little 45 inside there that goes straight to there. It's kind of close to the exhaust back here, but whatever. They're gonna come in the intercooler right here, go all around up in there. And we got this coming out of here, coming out of there. You looped around a 90 up, and then there's the blow off valve, and then that'll come up into a 90 and straight in. That's what we got. We're gonna go ahead and put the front end on just because, and that should leave all kinds of room for the radiator. And we gotta run some dump pipes for our blow off valves. We'll probably just run those straight down. All right, on these aluminum pipes, we cut them, and then we use this. This is the old electrical tool, and I cut the front part of it off with an angle grinder and a cutoff wheel, and you just use that little part right there. If you, the part number for that is in the where I did the turbo kit on my 5.3. If you want to check that out. But yeah, we just got that one piece to run up here. I already checked, the radiator hose should come up and over that. right there. Up and over. Yeah. Pretty much got her licked. We had to order a radiator. I don't know when it's going to come in. And we'll put the radiator in. I don't know if the fan will go on the back or the front, but we'll put it on either which way it goes. Preferably on the so it's blowing, so it'll suck through that inner core. And then you'll see the inner core hits right through them grills, right through there. Perfect. But yeah, that's how we did our hot side and our cold side. We'll get this part in real quick, but we have to get a coupler for this, which I think is 3.75 to 3 inch. And yeah, that should be it. All right, there we go, guys. Besides running some wastegate lines and doing them, that'll be another video. We are going to run that to our vacuum block up there. What do we have one of those other ones for? There was the computer, the blow off valve. I forget what the other one was for. Boost gauge. That's what it was. Yeah, so I can block one of those. One of those is going to have to run around the fender, around here, right there. That's all we're going to need. And then we're going to put our catch can back in. We'll run that AN fitting that goes in here. And then they got the valve cover that the PCV is removable, and you can put one of those AM fittings in there. And then we'll put the catch can over here where it was before.
Yeah, we're going to have to lengthen
still have
this.
room.
There's the cap on the new radiators over here.
Yeah, so we'll have to lengthen the overflow. We're going to leave the overflow over here.
And then we'll put the catch can back over, and then this will get built. Not there.
I'm going to make that just for a little shielding. But yeah, Chris ran the wires across through here and zip tied them. Plugged the headlights in. Which the high beams have never worked. On these cars, that's the low beam, that's the high beam. The high beams have never worked. We never figured out why, so we didn't even plug them back up. Of course, that one's gone. But yeah, what y'all think? Hit the comments. You got anything to add, Chris?
I like it.
I like it. Y'all, thanks for watching. Y'all have a great day, and hopefully we'll get this at the drag strip pretty soon.